Hey, brothers and sisters, I wanted to just put this video up. It is an old one, but for those of you that are my donors, this is what the one sister got who donates to my channel often, and hopefully I can catch Charlotte Swan or Charlotte one day, okay? And this is the one for the brothers, all right? So if y'all would like any of these t-shirts, just hit me up. And to the people that over a month period, that have donated $20 or more, will just get one. I will send you one. Just send me your address, all right? So let's get into this 68% of the black slave owners, right? And I did this at the NGO the first couple of times I went there. So kind of interesting how we could talk about this stuff with women there, but not with the black female here. All right, so here's the breakdown. Okay. Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. News and views on the news. Want you to meet some of the volunteers that help out with Aunt Selma. Y'all know Aunt Selma. Say hey. Okay. And then this is another one of the volunteers. Say hey. Okay. So first let me greet everybody. Ola Gudak. Harvardin Hadu. Oi to the bang vasas los bonjour mes amis. Kedu bawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama. Sani bonani. Jumbo Harbaragani. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. And to my brother out in Deutschland, what's up? Okay. So we were having a conversation. And I jokingly said to her, I said, don't you want 4 more children? She has 1 child. I said, don't you want 4 more children? Repetir, você fala em mil.
O que você falou? Por que você não tem mais 4 crianças?
Why you don't want
Que
4
caro.
children?
É caro. Que caro.
Que caro? And what else did she say?
Very expensive.
Uh-huh.
It's too expensive.
Why is this expensive?
Por que é caro?
Porque tem muito custo, tem educação, tem saúde, tem alimentação, tem segurança. Existem vários fatores que custa, tem um custo alto. Tempo também.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have time and give education and worry about things that you have to have for these children, and everything is too expensive. So she said that she doesn't want more children.
So these are people that actually believe in actually taking care of their children themselves. Do y'all have government assistance? Intenji government assistance? No government assistance. No. So that means if you have a child, you and your esposo, marido, has to take care of the child by yourselves. No government. Government don't give you a house.
No.
Government don't give you food.
No.
Government don't give you. Y'all hear that, y'all? So, how long? ¿Cuántos años você marido?
Quantos anos tem seu marido?
Pai da minha filha, 32.
She is separate.
Uh-huh.
Divorced.
Uh-huh.
And she is separate. But quantos anos você tem? Quantos anos? 32 years old.
Okay.
The father of the child.
Does he help take care of the children? The child? Does he? Socorro? Pai? Filha? Pai? Socorro?
Basically, she takes care of this child alone.
Oh, okay.
Because the father doesn't help her financially.
Right.
Talking about.
So,
Financeiramente ele não ajuda, não é isso?
Não, ela tá ajudando.
Tá ajudando?
so
Nowadays he is helping.
see, so he's helping. The father's why? Because there's no government. The government no help.
No, government in Brazil creates taxes and let the people without employees. Without.
Okay.
A ajuda do governo é muito para quem é uma renda muito baixa.
In Brazil we have Bolsa Família, that is a help that I think
Para quase quem não tem renda.
without any money.
Wow.
Any
Okay.
money, any condition to survive. So the government give a Bolsa Família, a kind of help
Okay.
to them. But in Brazil, this creates a certain kind of people stop, don't they don't want to develop anything. They stop. I am waiting Bolsa Família and have to be stopped.
E acho que o melhor incentivo seria emprego, né? Emprego de qualidade,
Yes.
Educação e saúde. Acho que se o governo de fato conseguisse oferecer esses três, isso seria o maior incentivo para você poder criar de forma digna e satisfatória, porque você tem todo um custo.
Because we don't deserve this kind of help, because we want employment.
Right.
We want education and healthy, not give you to like
okay.
You give to beggars.
Right. So they don't want to be beggars.
Yes.
That's what they would call our welfare system in the United States, the Section 8 and stuff like that. And so in the United States, they have more and more babies because the government subsidized. And what we mean by subsidize is it give the woman more money the more babies they have, so long as the man, they don't pick a good man. Entende?
Quanto mais filhos você tiver, mais dinheiro você ganha.
And so now the neighborhoods are Chicago is like favela. All right, but more murders in Chicago than in this favela. Entende?
Tem mais matadores em Chicago do que dentro dessa favela.
Entende? So we are the same. But we have the same conditions. That if you give anybody just spoiled, that's spoiled. That's what spoiled is. If you give anybody, keep giving them money to do nothing, then they'll do nothing to get the money. So
dá dinheiro para quem ninguém faz nada, e aí você dá dinheiro para as pessoas que não fazem nada, e aí você acaba acomodando as pessoas.
Tem porta de entrada, não tem porta de saída.
But I think that government do this because they want that people doesn't think and make it
exactly
criticism.
They won't criticize.
Yes, criticize, and they keep the power in their hands.
She nailed it better than anybody. So what she's saying is the government makes it like that on purpose, because if they could get people to not to learn to think, then they won't think. Therefore, they won't criticize the government, or it sounds real stupid like the BAW. You know how stupid they sound, right? And it keeps them in power because nobody's smart enough to get their way out of power, because they've been given so much all their life that they never decided to learn and study on their own. And so life has passed them by. They became stupido, dumb, unintelligent, and so now the government don't have to worry about them. So long as they give them trinkets. That's why rent never went up for people on welfare, and that's why they don't increase the welfare money. And that's why the money is never enough for you to support as many children. It's not enough to support one children, but it's definitely not enough to support six different baby daddies. Not even with child support. So,
Government keep it, people with circles and bread. In Brazil, football
uh-huh.
that is the circles and bread that Bolsa Família.
In the United States, American football is the circus. And boy, Aunt Selma is on it today. So yeah, I wanted her to speak on that because I keep telling people that people seem to be more intelligent than us Americans because we are just way too spoiled. And I was trying to explain to them what spoiled is, and then yeah, they kind of nailed this one with this particular thing. It started as a joke. I said you should have four more children. She said no, it's too expensive. And one of the major things that she said that she needed to do with a child was spend time with it. Your American woman. This woman wanted to spend time with her child. Wow. Go figure. A mother that wants to spend time with her child. Unfreaking believable. You know, I got more on these BAWs. So to finish this off, right? That's the first thing. Where did this all descend from? We've always been done in by our own women, right? 68% of black slave owners were the black American women with children from and freed by white men in the 1800s. So for you black loudmouth BAWs that opened up this can of worms, that opened up this can of, you know, whoop, is about to get busy up in here. Let's get those thumbs up right away because that's another way of spreading the message because Google kind of try to hide things based on thumbs up and down. To donate, my PayPal me link will be in the description box. All you got to do is click on it and it'll lead you to what you need to do. It just goes straight to the page. You click it and say $1, $2, $3. It has to be at least $1. We know that much. You can't donate 50 cents, but it has to be $1 or more. So don't worry about that. And if you don't have anything, don't worry about it. And some of us understand it. Some of us don't have $1 because $1 is bus fare. All right. So this goes out to you. Don't ever let nobody shame you when to them they think it's such a low limit. It's $1. Think about this. You say, well, I got $1 and it's an extra dollar, but you're not considering you might have to take the bus for 30 days. All right. That 29th day might be a mud hunter. That's the day you run out of all your $30. You see what I'm saying? No, you keep all your money until all your stuff is set up. Don't let nobody shame you into how much you're supposed to give or don't give. Because you're supposed to be a steward over your house first, over yourself first. And then if you have abundance, you give. That's all going to be a part of this lesson here. All right? So let's get it kicked. Dang, I took out all of y'all. All right, YouTube. Just wanted you to meet everybody, right? These are all some of the other volunteers. Say, fale, hola, whatever.
Olá, somos do Brasil, da ONG da tia Selminha.
Olá!
All right.
Michelle! Hello, people!
Nami.
My name is Fernanda.
My name is Shelton.
All right. So this is some of the other crew. Okay.
Uhul!
So there are more. So we got Aunt Samin, we got Aunt Selma, and
Selminha não tá aqui,
Salminha?
não tá
Não,
aqui.
yes,
diretora.
in the first one. All right. So we're going to I'm gonna introduce a lot of the others to you all. All right. So peace, and we'll continue with this slideshow. All right.
Uhul!
All right, YouTube. So let's get into this. I just wanted you to meet some of the volunteers here, and these are the people that are here almost every day. And it's nothing to walk around and see teenagers and little children holding AK-47s and stuff. It's just normal. Sad when that's normal, right? But it is what it is. If you don't get tied up in that system, your chances are better. But you heard the woman. Here, you are really held accountable for your choices. And as I mentioned in the title, I'm opening up this can of whoop A double and you know what on these BAWs because they want to be ignorant of their history. So never mind reminding them about their history. I'm going to remind us men about it. Ties. I told y'all. One of the things I like about my channel is this, that I seem to have some very intellectual brothers out the yin yang. All right, so ties came. Even the minority of fully black slave owners, right? Even of the minority, fully black slave owners, the majority of them were black females, freed by the white slave masters. All right, they were freed by their white male slave owners after they had their children, right? And remember, I kept saying that the black woman got more rights than the white woman. The black women owned other black people. They owned property that white men gave them, all to keep the black child and man subdued and in that stupor of weakness. If it wasn't for the Gullah Wars going on, man, ain't no telling what kind of mind job these women would have had on all black men. All right, now understand this. The majority of other urban black slave owners were women. In 1820, free black women represented 68% of the heads of household and 70% of slaveholding heads of colored household. The large percentage of black women slave owners is explained by the combined effects of manumission, being freed by their white masters for whom they fathered children, inheritance, receiving slaves from their white masters, relatives, and even husbands who had a higher mortality rate than women. All right? So, understand this. Why were the white women marching? Because they were actually married to these men. But when the men died, they left their slaves and property to the black women. All right? And personal industry, once they were free, buying slaves themselves. So once the black woman was free, she was buying slaves herself. Black women, this is your legacy. You wonder why black men are effed up? Oh, you played a major part in this mind F. The same way you played it again when they reinstituted this kind of idea in 1970 with the welfare, Section 8, and all the rest of that mess. Black women were the majority of slaves emancipated by white slave owning men with whom they had sexual relations. The ingenious miscegenation miscegenaceous nature of South Carolina society is nowhere better revealed than by the fact that 33% of all recorded colonial manumissions were mulatto children, and 75% of all adult manumissions were female. This came by way of Mr. Tice, who got it by way of the scholarly article posted by the University of Wisconsin. So, remember, black men, to the brothers and sisters, to the sisters that weren't going to ever fall for that BS, for the sister that believed in uniting with brothers, to the few sisters that's left, at the end of the day is this. Grandmothers taught the mothers, marry the white man to improve your race. The man never had any part in teaching this garbage. The man always knew, especially when he started getting into athletics, the black man, he knew that he was superior. How much of the NBA and NFL did I say was black men? Yep, 70%. All right, and so let's keep it real. This woman makes a valid point, because this is from the last video I did in Brazil, but she makes a valid point, because the same methodology that they were using in Brazil was methodology they got from the Americans. The same methodology Hitler used to destroy white people, commonly referred to as the Jews, he got from the United States eugenics program. It seems to me that at no point in history was the black woman ever a friend to the black men. We got suckered, black men, because we said, well, they look like us, so ergo, they must mean well. And at the end of the day, they did not mean well. Not at all. Okay? And so this is where we stand. This is where we stand. Now, the biggest weapon and the only weapon that these black women have is her simp, coochie-fied, do nothing male. Not really a man, because he can't think for himself. You really can't go there. Anyone that worships a woman as God is less than a man. Anyone that's try to advocate for men to unite with somebody we know is a demon and an enemy against us, who will not study or research, who come on people's videos making comments without actually looking at the video. Because I wonder what they have to say about this. Oh, let's go back to Africa. Oh, and by the way, yeah, y'all knew it. Carmelina, or Lena, whatever she want to call herself, the so-called Empress of the Demons, yeah, she opened up this can. Yeah, shoot. These women ain't going to ever learn. I'm not the person that you could just sit there and talk all kind of BS with and think that I'm not going to make you look bad. with facts and your own history. This is the same mentality that black women have. This woman in the last video, and that's why I have this picture up, because the same argument she has is the same argument that black women have. And when she married the white guy, her mother taught her to marry a white guy to get rid of the black in your family. So that's what she decided to do. So she's surprised that it wasn't the racism just wasn't from white people; it came from black people too. When are you black women going to get it that when you betray your own, you no longer belong to them? All right. She went and married a white guy, got with a white guy, prancing around with a white guy, but wanted support from the black community. Black women understand this. Like white women have to understand this. If I get a woman that's way brighter than me, that's going to be almost any woman, except for maybe that one. If I get a woman brighter than me, she's going to my community. Hands down, wherever I go, that's where she's going. When you get with a white man, you belong to that white man. Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts. So you can't look to black people that you just dissed by getting with a white man when you want support from them because the white people are treating you bad. Can't do that. It's going to look stupid on you. And they said, and the racism wasn't just from white people, came from black people too. No, what came from black people said, you jumped on that side of the fence, it was better over there, stay your behind over there. You don't belong to us anymore, nor do you represent us. Remember, in her video, her thing that I gave you about her, she played a slave woman in love with her white master. Talking about, well, the people needed to see this. No, they didn't need to see that junk. But she don't get it. Because she suffered for the same mentality that the modern day black woman do in the United States. All right, so let's just keep it real. Keep it really real. Black men are tired. We are starting to see black women for who they are, like these sellout men that we thought was the stalwart of righteousness. Comes down to it that when a white man give them any piece of money, they will turn on their own, like ravenous, never fed wolves. And that is what make this stuff going on in America so sad. Remember, we don't need no leader. We got means to see the facts and see who is our enemy amongst our own and who is not. Oh, and by the way, seems that not all white people are our enemies. They see the same just injustice, and they're using their white privilege to speak out about it. While at the same time, the black millionaires are starting to sell out. But you got some of them that's trying to hold the fort. And to those, I commend you. But you black women, yeah, y'all SOL, because we tired. Okay, the last thing I want to say is notice that how we can talk about these issues in Brazil with the black women in Brazil, so-called black women, but you can't touch this at all in the United States, even though what was done here was very egregious. Think about that.